Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity and another episode of Goodness Gracious, what is she up to now? No, actually, it's my day, Friday, and I hope everyone's going to have an awesome weekend. And if you remember from my haul last week, I got a set of 3 kind of open space stencils, so I want to use one of those today, and I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. I'm thinking I might build up to a slimline card, but I really like these 3 shapes. So before I begin there, I'm going to be a good girl and I'm going to fix it down, and I'm going to use some easy remove Scotch tape. So I'm going here right at the top of my stencil, and I think I've got it straight. And if I haven't, it doesn't really matter because it's a wibbly wobbly pattern. So I'll fasten that down on my sheet of paper, and I hope we've got some clarity here. Yeah, so these are the 3 shapes that I'm interested in. So I'm going to use scraps of cardstock to hide the rest, and just use some more removable tape just to cover those up. So I'm going to go as high as I can. And all of this will just peel off afterwards. As I said, you know, my idea is a slimline card. Yeah. I'm going to put that one there so that I don't get anything into there. Right, and I'm going to go across there. So we've got a lovely jigsaw puzzle now of scrap cardstock and removable tape. So the colours that I want to use, I'm thinking autumn, and if I reach across my desk, I'm thinking about using this stamp that I got a few weeks ago and never really got the chance to use it. And it's a gorgeous detailed sunflower. So I'm thinking autumnal shades, and then stamping either wholly on those shapes or stamping through, because that's the nice thing about open work stencils. You can stamp, you know, straight through them and be left with your division marks. Right, wild honey, dried marigold and scattered straw. And I think I'm going to go dark to light, and I'm pretty sure that it's honey, marigold and straw, but we'll soon find out. Right, so where am I? Ah yes, honey. Let's go into honey. And it doesn't really matter if I leak into the next colour, because I'm hoping it will blend. So I've gone down there now with my wild honey, and it does actually look like honey. Very, very amber. It's really pretty. So that was my honey. Now I'm going scattered straw. I'm just peeling my foam off. Whoops. Try to get it on your tool straight. So I've got that on there, and now I've got my scattered straw. And I can tell you that I've had this particular ink pad, I think, since 2012. If I flip it over, yeah, there it is, 2012. Those were the days when they used to put the dates on the stamp pads. That's how long I've had this. And even though I've got the re-inkers, I've never re-inked it. Okay, so this one is slightly lighter. You see, I've got this lovely autumn shade thing going on because of the sunflowers. And we are headed rapidly in the direction of autumn. I just haven't got a clue where this year has gone. It's just absolutely vanished. Oh, it's still quite juicy after all these years. So I've got my honey going on there. No, sorry, my scattered straw. So that's wild honey, scattered straw, and then the next one is dried marigold. So I'm just changing the pad, and I've chosen to use these because distress ink is more translucent than oxide. As you know, oxide is a very solid ink. So I don't know about this one either. I've had this one quite a while, I'm sure. If the date's on that. 2004. There you go. 2004. Never been inked. Right. So this is just a smaller one. Keep my dirty fingers out of that bit. And got these lovely shapes of autumn. Try and get into there. Right, and you can see this particular cardstock is the cheap stuff from Walmart, which is the pen and gear. And when you put stuff on, the absorbency or the pulp in the paper makes it look quite speckled. If you look at that, and although a lot of people may not like that, if you do sort of like wren birds and eggs, and you like to use robin's egg blue and things like that, you get a lovely natural speckled effect, just like an egg. And then you can just splash a little bit of brown ink or whatever you want, and it's just a really great effect. Right, now then, my cardstock is clean, my shapes are down. I'm lifting that up. And I'm peeling the whole thing off together. There you go. So I've got 3 lovely shapes. Now I could choose, if I wanted to, just to put the stamp down through those elements, leaving white pieces around. But I think I'm just going to use that. It's quite retro. And just put my stamp on there and then go and cut it out. So I think I'm going to use the top one, which is this one. I'll pull it off. So I've got those 3, and they will kind of span that autumn kind of colour on the background, and I'm going to need my stamp platform to do that. So I'm just moving all of my gubbins. There we go. And then I'll just die cut this. I hope it fits in this particular platform. I have got my larger one, but do you know what? It's a bit big. So what I'll do is I'll just go and die cut my slimline and come straight back. As soon as I can hit the button on the computer. Right, so I went off and cut it, and I've got a craft background there. So that's going to go onto there and look really autumn. I really like those retro shapes. And now this should fit in for my stamping. And I'm going to move my stamp platform up so that you can see. Having the foam there is just really useful for me. So I've got that butted up. Got a little piece of magnet. And I've got my stamp. I'm going to use VersaFine Clair. Kind of want to level that up in there. I'm looking to see if it's straight. I want it to kind of leak over. And then you could quite literally do whatever sentiments or whatever else you wanted to this. But I just love that you can do really simple things with stencils. And now I'm going to, without hitting my camera, stamp that up, because I don't actually think that I ever inked this one. I might have done the other one when I first got it, so it's just going to be nice to see if it gives a good stamp. So I'm lowering that down. Sometimes all you need to do is just rest it. But we'll give it a little bit of CPR and see what happens. Ooh, so I've got that. I've got that at the moment. I'm wondering if I should put green in the bits that are outside of the colours. That could be quite interesting. So it stamps absolutely beautifully. And I'm wondering if adding green to that would do anything. But do you see how retro that is? I really like that. I'm just going to pause and grab some green. Right, so what I've decided is I'm going to get a little bit brave, and I'm going to put the stencil down again and use shapes that I haven't used yet, and see what overlapping of colours on top of that achieves. I mean, it might be an absolute disaster, who knows? But as long as I can fit all of the black and white section into there, or even turn that over and do that. No, I think I'm going to go with that new shape there. So I'm actually going to be overlapping colours now. I don't know whether green is the right way to go, but I'm going to find out. Right, so I've got my scraps of cards still, so that I don't go off onto my card. And then I'm going to use this one here. And let's see what happens. We will find out. I've got the whole thing taped down again. And I need another foam pad. That shows you how badly organised I am. So I'm just going to grab another foam pad and I'll be right back. Right, so I'm back and I've got a brand new one and I've got my old peeled paint. And I'm just going to go in there, pick up some colour. And what I'm going to try and do is not be as heavy-handed as I was with the base colours. And let's find out what happens here. Make sure I get all the fluff off my paper, because we're actually now going to create a blend into the other two. We shall see. Right, that is the first one. Oh, and I actually think that looks quite nice. Very retro. And then I'm going to go down here. Make sure I'm getting all of the black and white covered there. And this one will be even paler because I've already just inked it off on the other side. And then lift that. Ooh, I quite like that. That is very, very autumn and very retro. So now that I've done that, I'm going to put a load of foam pads on the bottom and I'll be right back. Right, so I've got lots and lots of foam pads on the back there, and I'm just going to stand up so that I can get it where it should be. And the only thing really that a card like that needs is, for me personally, is a really bold black sentiment, you know, whether it's thanks or grateful or anything like that. But how quick was that? And I just think that looks great. I absolutely love that. It's really retro. Love it. So that is what I've got for you today. And the people that I donate my cards to, they do all sorts of stuff with them. So popping a sentiment or what have you on there, that's going to be their job. But I just think that looks awesome. It looks, what's the word for it? It looks quite expensive, actually. You know, it's one of those boutique style cards. But I do love that. And I thank you so much for watching. Now, next week is going to be an interesting week because I am up with a brand new haul from DIY Art Bin and also from Eiffel Store. So I do hope you'll join me, and I thank you so much for watching. Have an absolutely awesome weekend. And as usual, all links below. Bye.